Thông thường thấy tiền bất minh trả lại ngay, không đem về nhà cất như ông Chu Ngọc Anh dùng lắm, ông bận quá không có thời gian đưa trả. Ông Chu Ngọc Anh và ông Phạm Duy Tiến còn phụ xa một người dân bình thường, đó là trong vòng bác sĩ Hoàng Thắm, cựu kế toán trưởng CDC Nghệ An.
Ôi Thúy ơi, cho một cái nồi thịt cho mẹ. Con nó cạn nước để cháy. Được bao nhiêu phút rồi? Lật cho mẹ đi. Bật nước lên đi.
That are due to genetic predisposition. So in the same way that people have pigmentations due to inheritance issues, people who have fat pads underneath their eyes because they're genetically predisposed to that due to how they're aging, creams are not going to help. On the margin, the depuffing creams will help if you've had salt, if you've had alcohol, if you're crying. But on a day-to-day, they're not going to help, because the bones around our eyes, the orbital rim around our eyeballs, as we age, gets wider and thinner. So the scaffolding holding the fat around our face thins out. And so the fat pads we have around our temples, underneath our eyes, around our eyes, basically kind of shrink and drop. And people have these herniated fat pads underneath their eyes. In-office procedures like certain fillers with different types of hyaluronic acids can help tremendously if you have the right underlying bone structure. And it can help to minimize that appearance, to smoothen it out so that that puff is not so obvious compared to the rest of your face. However, if your bone structure is not right, it can make it look worse. And this is why you have to go to somebody who is extremely skilled and honest with you as a patient. I'm trying not to hit the table. That was another feedback I got, because I get, a little bit worked up. But you have to go to a practitioner, a physician who is both skilled and honest, who you see eye to eye with and who you trust, in order to address that with injectables, because it is not without risk. Risk of bruising, which happens because this eye is notorious to bruise, so don't freak out about that. But risk of looking worse, or God forbid, running into more dangerous adverse events, which is it's too big for the scope of this video. Finally, if you're one of those people for which fillers are not the right approach, then surgical options, going to a plastic surgeon or an oculoplastic surgeon to do a blepharoplasty, meaning they take out the fat from underneath your eyes to help minimize that appearance, can work wonders. And I've had patients as early in their early 30s who've had really bad herniated fat pads because they were so genetically predisposed, get surgeries and have life-changing outcomes for them. Because although they felt like they were not tired, they were constantly told they looked tired. And so they felt like they couldn't tackle their life with as much confidence as they wanted to. So it really depends on you. Two treatments I'm not a huge fan of in that kind of out of reach domain, which is in-office procedures. I don't love fat transfers, because fat transfers for the under eyes can go wrong really fast. Fat transfers can work wonders and have a lot of merit when done extremely well. So you have to really pick your provider very, very specifically. In order to be done well, they need to be done slowly. And that means you have to take the fat out, store it, and once a month you go in for a little injection. That can be very costly over time. And the reason why they need to be done slowly is because only 30 to 40% of fat sticks, and you don't know what 30 or 40% of fat is going to stick. So if you put a lot, you run the risk of looking lumpy bumpy. And I have seen that in patients coming to me who are coming to me to try to help them fix that. It is a very hard issue to deal with, which ends up costing more in the long run. Number two, I am not a fan of this at all, are implants. People get implants under their eyes. It was a huge trend in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I have unfortunately a handful of patients today who have not taken out those implants, but as they are aging and the implant is sort of just kind of staying rigid, they are looking wonky, and they are trying to keep up with the implant in order to minimize how crazy it's looking. I have had multiple discussions with those patients to go back and take those implants out, but again, to each their own. I can only offer advice and guidance, but it is a thing. So anyway, I hope this video was really helpful. I hope it can help you understand the differences when it comes to tackling the under eyes, from pigmentation to shadowing and vasculature to puffiness to herniated fat pads and more. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I tried to be as direct. It's 20 minutes. I could talk about under eyes for hours. There's so much more I want to share, but I don't want to bore you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I am Dr. Shireen Idris. Please continue to comment, like. It's really encouraging for me, somebody who's just started her YouTube journey, to read these comments and to kind of get your feedback from them. So I really truly appreciate it, and I hope you guys, if not only one of you, learned something, then for me it is a success. All right, I will see you guys next Saturday at 10 a.m. with another topic.